Greetings duelists, and welcome to another video. So today we're going to deck retake Killer Tune. This deck just got new support, and not only that, there are a couple of things I overlooked in the last video, and I kind of want to cover them as well, because my perspective on Killer Tune was kind of lukewarm. I felt like the deck had a really cool gimmick, and the concept of the deck was really strong, but something was missing. And a combination of the things I discovered, as well as this new card that we'll talk over real quick as well, is going to like enlighten not only my perspective, but hopefully yours as well. I think Killer Tune is a really good concept for synchros, and it might be even exploitable moving forward. But yeah, without further ado, let's begin. So the first thing I want to do is talk about Trackmaster. I did not cover this card in the last video. This is a level 4 tuner, synchro, and its materials are any Killer Tune tuner and +1+ tuners. If this card on the field will be used as a synchro material, one tuner in your hand can be used as the other materials. You can only use each of the following effects of Killer Tune Trackmaster once per turn. If this card is special summoned, you can add one Killer Tune card from your deck to your hand. If this card is sent to a graveyard as a synchro material, you can return one card your opponent controls to the hand. So this card does a lot. The first thing to notice is that this card adds any Killer Tune card. It can add the field spell, it can add Killer Tune Synchro, it can add the playlist, and not only that, this card works for Loudness Wars effect, and this card also works for playlist effect. The other really cool thing about Trackmaster is that Clip can now be a turn 0 synchro on your opponent's turn by just using itself and another tuner. Like if you have it alongside Mix in your hand, you can use Clip for Mix, and then make the Trackmaster. Mix gets the pop effect, and Trackmaster gets the add effect. And if Trackmaster leaves the field for another synchro, you can just take out another card. Also, Clip also shapes a card as well. So that's already really strong. That's a really good start. Remember that the Juke Joint allows you to extra normal summon, so just getting this in order to get this, in order to get another one of these, or this one included, and we'll talk about this in a moment, in a bit later, it's just already really strong. Alright. The second thing I overlooked is Killer Tune Synchro is not once per turn. This card is twice per turn. That's really good. Like, if you open multiple Killer Tune Synchros, you can just like play through opponent's cards. Like, let's say for example you use the first one, this one will add you Mix, and let's say for example your opponent tries to Imperm or Veiler, which are two popular cards right now in Justice Hunter format, by the way. You can just chain Killer Tune Synchro, add another one of these, and immediately Synchro, dodge the Veiler, and then the Killer Tune Mix resolves, adding another Killer Tune. Which is already really strong, and that's not even talking about Mix just popping a card afterwards. So yeah, this card is really good. The fact that you can use more than one per turn as well means that if you open multiple of these, you can just set them both and just use both on your opponent's turn. You can like use one to make Trackmaster, or you can just in your own turn, like if you go second, you can Trackmaster into Killer Tune Synchro, and then Killer Tune Synchro, add something else, and then immediately use it alongside Trackmaster to just make another synchro. So that already is really strong for Killer Tunes. This already exceeded my expectations by a good margin. Now, The other thing I overlooked, I don't think I brought this up last episode, or like the deck intro. Synchro Overtake can reveal mix or reto, which means Synchro Overtake can get us to mix, and mix gets us to reco. Reco can get us to clip, and you can just go forward with that, or you can use Overtake for mix. Mix adds someone's Q or adds Q, and then we can use Q. And now let's talk about Q. So this card is a level 3 light fairy tuner, and this card's effect is if this card on the field will be used as a synchro material, one tuner in your hand can be used as the other materials. Same as most of the killer tunes. You can only use while the following effect once per turn. If this card is normal summoned, you can special summon one tuner from your hand, deck, or graveyard, except Killer Tune Q. Also, you cannot special summon for the rest of the turn except tuners. If this card is sent to the graveyard as a synchro material, you can excavate the top 2 cards of your opponent's deck, banish one excavated card, also place the other cards at the top or bottom of the deck. This card literally catapulted the archetype. Any impressions I had about Killer Tunes just went up 70% because of this card. This deck is now really, really strong. I actually wholeheartedly believe this deck can be tier 1. This card is ridiculous. Remember Krypton HALQUIFIBRAX? That old Link monster that is already in the forbidden list? This card is Synchro HALQUIFIBRAX, but better. Let's talk about this card implication for Killer Tunes first, and then we'll talk about other examples of why this card just is really broken in general. So, thanks to Killer Tune Q, we now have another starter for the Killer Tune archetype. Like, Q can get us to mix, and these two can just make remix, and the remix can just make, like, resummon to make, like, Red Seal, or you can use Q to summon Reco, Reco to summon to add Clip, and you can use Clip alongside these as an interruption. Now we have enough ways to actually play the game with Killer Tunes. Like, this is another starter, and take note, this card is searchable by Killer Tune Synchro, and it's summonable by Killer Tune. Although, if you use Killer Tune's effect, be mindful that you don't get Q's effect, because Q's effect is only on normal summon, which is a very good balancing act that Konami did with this. If this card would have worked on special summon, I think we would have gotten to like echelons of like level of carnage with this deck. Now, let's talk about this card's application outside of Killer Tunes. This card is going to maybe revolutionize the way you play certain synchro decks in the future. Be mindful, this does lock us into tuners, which is a very fair lock considering what this card does. But that's not to say this card is not powerful. Let me show you some examples of stuff that you can summon with Killer Tune Q. This card came out in Duelist Advance. This is Mind Procedure. And Mind Procedure, if we read this part, this card can add us any teleport card if it's summoned by a monster effect. Killer Tune Q can summon Killer Tune Mind Procedure. I don't know why I said I don't know why I called that Killer Tune, but yeah. Killer Tune Q can summon Mind Procedure. Mind Procedure can add Emergency Teleport, and Emergency Teleport can get you to the Side Frame archetype. It can get you to the Punk archetype. It can get you to like a few other really cool stuff. you can summon Ghost Ogre on your opponent's turn and just use it as an interruption, and Ghost Ogre and Snow Rabbit is already being seen play now in Justice Hunter format. So, like, a Searcher for Teleport, and this card enables it, already really strong. This is a tuner. So Q can summon Sylvie, and Sylvie can add you a White Forest spell and trap. And those can get you to other White Forest cards. You are locked into tuners, but remember, White Forest does have 2 synchro tuners in their archetype. So be mindful of that. And you can use this to synchro on your opponent's turn. So you can summon Birds of Paradise with Q. Q does not have a level restriction. It doesn't have an attack or defense restriction. And it doesn't tell you what position you summon the monster. So Q can summon Birds of Paradise Lost. And this is a really big monster. Like, this is 2700 attack, but it can gain a lot more if you have more tuners in your graveyard, which will be super easy in this archetype. So Kinetic Q, just being able to just summon this card from your graveyard as well, is also really strong. And if we read this card carefully, this card is just like brain control for an opponent's monster. So, like, all of a sudden, this deck can actually go for lethal if you, like, open the right cards. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if people actually experiment with this in the Killer Tune deck. Now, let's find another one. This is Wheel Synchron. You probably already seen this card. I think this was for the Usage Structure deck for a couple years back, or from one of the Legendary collections. Let's read this card real quick. If this card you control is used as a synchro material, you can treat it as a non-tuner. That's gonna come up in a second. You can only use the following effects once per turn. During your main phase, you can immediately after this resolves, normal summon one level 4 or lower monster. Also, you cannot special summon from the extra deck except for synchro monsters. You can banish this card from your graveyard, target one synchro monster you control, reduce its level up to 4. This card's incredible. Like, this card might become a staple in the Killer Tune deck just because of its implication with Killer Tune Q. This card enables an extra normal summon, which is already really strong. The synchro lock of this card does not matter to you because this is an entire synchro deck, and this deck already locks you into tuners to begin with. But more importantly, this card can be used as a non-tuner. Why does this come up? Well, I'll show you. Remember this card? This asks for a tuner and a non-tuner. This can be treated as a non-tuner. 3, 4 plus 5 equals 8. And this is a tuner synchro. So, yes, you can summon this under the tuner lock. And I don't think I need to explain what happens after that. Like, this can get you to Emblema Oath can get you to this can get you to Primera, and Primera is a tuner, so you can summon Primera as well. And all of a sudden, you just got way more cards. Now let's go back to Killer Tune Q. With Killer Tune Q, you can also summon the Primera. And Primera can get you to the Stand-Up Centurion, and Stand-Up Centurion can get you to Atri. And Atri is another tuner, so you can summon the Atri. And if you read Atri, you can treat Atri as a non-tuner. So this can also make the Primera Primus. Pretty strong, right? This was all because of Killer Tune Q. So there is a world where you just mix the Killer Tunes, no pun intended, with Centurion. And there's probably a lot more other archetypes or a lot more things that you can do. This is other non-tuners. These other non-tuner substitute monsters that you can use with Q. Like, for example, Q can summon any of these. You can Q into Baby Mud Dragon. Baby Mud Dragon make the Trackmaster, and then Trackmaster just keep going. You can use High Ride, and High Ride can make you Malong. It can make you these two as well. You can use Visa Samsara and Visa Samsara to make Shooting Riser Dragon. You are locked into tuners, so you cannot use the Samsara abuse for like Vanadium plays or Scareclaw plays. But you know, these are just really cool things to think about when it comes to this archetype. Who knows, maybe there's a world where you can experiment with all of this and maybe actually get something out of it with all these tuners. But yeah, that's pretty much everything I wanted to bring up. This card pretty much is like one of the best cards ever printed for synchros in a long while. And I know for a fact this can be abused. But until then, I hope you found this to your liking and understanding. I really like Killer Tunes. I don't know how will it fare in the OCG, but right now it's looking very, very, very promising. But yeah, keep practicing and keep dueling.